Before approaching 500 girls sober in the daytime in the last few months, I went the entire previous like 6 years of my life not getting laid sober. So here's how I got laid sober more times in the past 2 months than in my entire life up to that point. My plan after college was essentially like get rich and then I'll figure out girls. Like once I have money, then I'll be able to travel the world and like talk to girls and figure it out once I'm nice and rich. This was incredibly stupid for a lot of reasons, but needless to say, it failed horribly. And I ended up more poor than when I was in college. So I got into sales jobs. I'm like big on like self improvement and self development. So sales jobs kind of like coincides with those sort of beliefs. So I started getting sales jobs because I was like, okay, you can make like unlimited income. I was like, that sounds cool. Let's do it. So I started I was pretty good at my sales jobs. I made like good money, and then I started to do my own like sales company, and this like imploded horribly, and I ended up more poor than when I was in college because of this, and it after it failed. So I got quite sad. I went and basically played video games and like hid in a hole for almost 6 months. I uh, I essentially like was staying with my family, but I would sneak out and go to like PC cafes, like internet cafes, and I would sit there and play League for just an unreasonable, ungodly amount of time. I would grind solo queue like you wouldn't even believe. And I essentially just like hated it, hated every part of it, because I was just so depressed and so like frustrated with my life. But I was just numbing it with video games, distractions, and I couldn't see a way out. I was just so frustrated with everything, no girls, no money. It was actually I was so down bad. It was absurd. And I would sit there for an ungodly amount of time every day and just grind my face off and just hate life. And then I would come home and hate life even more. And it was just a bad cycle. So at some point, I finally just decided to face the dragon. At some point, you have to face the dragon and you have to fight it. As lame as it sounds, it's just a girl in the modern world. But literally, that's what it was in my life. So I had to face it. So I was talking to one of my friends. I bought a course on like how to get over your approach anxiety. One of my friends already knew how to do it, and he said he was going to help me. So I came to Miami, and he helped me. We did my first approach. He took me to the Fontainebleau Hotel, and and then he said, "There, that girl, go up." And I said, "Fuck," and then I went up, and the approach actually went well, and I got her number and shit. So that was my first approach ever. And then from that point, I went back to my home in Tampa, and I just thought about what I was gonna do next because I wanted to make this a part of my life. I wanted to figure it out because I still didn't know how to get girls, but I got the first approach out of the way. I still didn't know how to talk to them. So I was trying to figure out how I could make this a part of my life, and I was trying to do it in Sarasota, which is where I live, but I couldn't figure out like logistics. There were not enough girls and stuff, so I had to move. So I moved to Miami, and I moved right next to where the hot girls are all the time. I told myself I was just gonna do 3 approaches every single day, no matter what, at all costs. This is my priority. This is why I'm here. I'm just gonna do it. So I got a job, a shitty job where I was making like zero money, but it was gonna pay the rent, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just survive with this for now. And I did my fucking approaches. It was literally the first month was absolutely the hardest thing I have ever done. I would walk around the mall for hours at a fucking time without approaching. I would text my friend like I literally can't approach, like I need help. I just couldn't figure out how to do it. So I spent like literally a month fucking around. I would do approaches here and there. I think every day I would at least, try to knock out one. But it was so fucking hard that first month. Um, but yeah, I mean, I got through it. I got some experience. My friend would come and help me like on some days because I was like absolute mess. But yeah, that first month was literally insanely hard. Month two, I started actually figuring out how to overcome my approach anxiety, and figuring out how to like send my friends money and give myself social pressure, a monetary incentive to do so. So I would do that every day, and I would actually go out and get my approaches done. I wasn't really getting success. I was getting some numbers here and there, like an Instagram, but they were not solid at all. and the interactions were very quick, like 30 seconds, and I was like, all right, see ya. Like, I don't know what to say now, peace. I wouldn't close a lot of the time. It was just bad game. So that was my month 2. Month 3, I think I started my TikTok then. I bought the glasses. My friend was like, you should start posting content. And I was like, yeah, that seems kind of like a good idea. Other people are having success doing that. So I bought the glasses and started like filming all my interactions. And this actually improved my game a lot because I was kind of looking at like the first 60 seconds, and I was able to, because the glasses only recorded 60 seconds, so I was able to kind of just look at what I was doing wrong. I was watching like the videos again after I did them, and I was like, oh shit, like that's stupid. Talk louder, say this, come at her from this angle. You need to be more assertive. So I was just like able to pick apart my game a little bit. The only problem was that it was only 60 seconds, and I was going for clips on TikTok. I was trying to get like views basically. So I was only aiming for like a good first 60 seconds. So essentially my game was 60 seconds, and after 6 seconds I didn't even care what happened. I wasn't caring about it. I wasn't trying to close. I wasn't even going on dates. So that was month 3. Month 4, a lot of the same stuff with the glasses, just doing it, looking at it, except I started doing like breakdown videos on my TikTok now, and this started getting like some traffic, I guess, for the page. But my game actually wasn't really improving beyond 60 seconds. I was just getting like decent openers. I had like angles figured out. um, but yeah, my game actually wasn't getting better because to get laid, you obviously need to go. You need to be talking to a girl for at least 60 seconds. So my game actually wasn't improving. I was just like nerding out on the first 60 seconds. So this was literally like 3 months of doing this, and then I got a job working with Coach Kyle and just filming like his infield and stuff. And I would see him literally every interaction. He would talk to people for at least like 5 minutes. All of his interactions, and they were going well. I was like, okay, so yeah, I'm doing something wrong here. It took me like months to figure it out. I need to be talking to girls for a long fucking time if I want to get laid. This is how it works. So I was like, all right, fuck the glasses. I'm just going like audio. And then I think I started doing like TikTok live around this point. But yeah, so I started realizing that I just needed to, I wanted to still record myself because I like to check my interactions and make sure that I'm improving and seeing what I can do better. But obviously the glasses like had to go at this point because I realized that I needed to talk to girls for a lot longer periods of time. That pretty much brings me to like the last 2 months of my game career. I took the glasses off. I started recording myself every single day on TikTok live. And then I started getting laid as well. Like as soon as I started doing longer interactions, I started getting laid. I started going on a lot more dates. I started getting a lot more confident in talking to girls, and I started feeling like I could actually do this. And like my image that I had of myself, what went from like a weird like TikTok kid that like runs around and like films shit. Not that it is weird, but like that's literally the image that I had of myself. To someone who's like actually good at talking to girls, likes talking to girls, has fun doing so, and someone that can like that knows how to take a girl from like hello to like the date and like beyond that. And then I started making like more educational videos, a lot for myself because I needed to know a lot more in depth, like date structure, pull, plot line. I wanted to know more about it because obviously after the first 60 seconds, that's when you're actually doing game. So I started learning a lot more about it and then just making educational content. A lot of it to teach myself, but then a lot of other people were benefiting from it as well. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, and it feels good. It's come a long way from me sitting in internet cafes and hating my life, essentially, really hating my life, and just knowing like that I was not doing what I needed to do, and I was on like a fast track to just like die alone, essentially. And that didn't feel good because yeah, I was just numbing like that frustration and pain with like video games, like drugs, like alcohol. I was just trying to like forget the fact that I'm not living up to who I need to be. So it feels good now that I've been on this for a while, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. So in the future, I'd like to take this to a much higher level. I'd like to go for rank 1, as it says in my bio. I want to be the very best at this. So I still have a long way to go, but that's where I'm at right now. If you're still here and you're watching this, then I would like to help you speed up your progress. So go check out the link in my bio. It is still discounted for the next 24 hours.